So if you're new here, I just turned 25 yesterday. I'm living in my big sister energy era right now. One of my favorite things is sharing with other women the things that I've learned and how I apply them in my life. This special little 25 birthday moment, we're gonna embrace it a little bit longer, and today we're gonna do 25 things I've learned by my 25th birthday while making a coffee, of course. Now that we have our coffee, let's get into it. I was all cute and wrote it on a little notes app for you guys. I'm excited to get to kind of expound on these things a little bit more than I did on TikTok, just because it's a little more of a chit chat video, you know? This is kind of what we do here, is just have coffee and have chats. Let's get into it, shall we? Number one is discipline is a core value that breeds an entirely different lifestyle. I believe this to my core. There have been periods of my life where I've been less disciplined and periods where I've been more disciplined as a person. Diet and exercise are good examples of this, but it falls into every area of your life, like parenting, like budgeting, standard you hold yourself to as a person, and your character. Joy does not look the same for everyone. This is one of the later lessons that I've learned that was honestly kind of hard to come to terms with, if you want to say it that way. You could love going out to a party and having a grand old time with your friends, and that could be terrible for me because I'm way overstimulated and would much rather prefer sitting across the table from somebody having a coffee. Number three is one that I feel like a lot more people are starting to pick up on, but the people that love you are never gonna make fun of you for chasing your dreams. Number four, you are not too old. It is not too late, and that seems a little drastic coming from a 25-year-old, you know, because I'm not old. But there are points in life where you feel like, oh, I'm too old to do that. Find your uniform. But truly, like, there are days where you look at yourself and just one of those where every single outfit that you put on that you pictured in your head is not giving the Pinterest energy that you thought it was going to. And it's unfortunate, okay? And you're like, I've tried on 87 outfits. Find the outfit that you know looks good on you every single time. As a type A girly, I really relate to this one. Panic and stress don't do anything for you. Literally nothing. We still are gonna have moments where we're stressed. Stress, from a biological perspective, was there to save your life. Now it overtakes a lot of our lives, period. That was kind of a mic drop. I wasn't planning that one. Plan consistently and occasionally act spontaneously. It is healthy to have a plan, but it is also good to allow spontaneity to happen. Always moisturize, okay? I think for the millennials, a big thing when you went to bed was like not washing your face, and so a lot of them like prioritize the face wash. But as a dry skin acne girly that also literally worked in dermatology for years, moisturize your face. Moisturized skin ages better. So fix the problem, not the symptom. That's a hot take. Don't put a band-aid on a wound that's still bleeding. This is one that I got called out for. Let me tell you a little story, okay? A while ago, just right after the Sabrina Carpenter album came out, my husband was like, hey, we need to talk. You've been a little sassy lately. You've been a little short lately. You've kind of been in this weird energy lately, and I think it's because you're listening to a lot of Sabrina Carpenter. I was like, he was right. The saying is that the 5 people that you spend the most time with, the conglomeration of them is who you are, and I think that is true, but nowadays, it's also the content you're consuming. The 5 content creators you're consuming most, the conglomeration of the ideas they're supporting. Tailoring matters more than the size. Victim mindset will never lead to a champion lifestyle. It's okay to process things that have happened to us that have been out of our control, and trust me, I've had my fair share. I had to move out of a reactive space and move on to a responsive space. You cannot have a champion outcome if you always play the victim. But in that same coin, we're all gonna have bad days. We're all gonna have days when we're in a funk, and the best way to get out of a funk is actually gym tan laundry. Here's what I mean by that, because my millennials get me. If you don't understand what I'm saying, please go look up gym tan laundry, because it's so funny. Move your body, do something you know makes you feel good, and accomplish a task. Gym tan laundry. Everyone prefers the person that will admit they're wrong rather than make an excuse to prove to you that they're right. We all prefer authenticity over the picture perfect. Who really cares if it's too much blush? Who cares if you dye your hair? No one's gonna bat an eye if you use brown mascara. Things that make you feel beautiful, the girlhood moments that you enjoy, go for it. The right relationships never have to be forced. I feel like as women, it's this like romanticized idea that relationships are roller coasters and go up and down. It's just not true. Healthy relationships are so steady, and it doesn't make for a good movie. Fights aren't outrageous. you're not concerned you're gonna break up. The right relationships don't have to be forced. On that same line, not everyone's meant to be in your life forever. That's okay. Adapalene. Adapalene is the best skincare product that I've ever seen. It's a form of retinol that is more gentle. It targets acne, it targets anti-aging, it targets redness, and it targets pigmentation. If you're not pregnant, breastfeeding, or a child, please be using it. But if you are gonna use it, make sure you're wearing sunscreen or sun protection of some kind. And it is only to be used at night. Those that gossip to you are probably gossiping about you. This one's huge for my girlies because I think a lot of us live in this lens where if someone's winning, it means we're losing, and that's just not true. Their win is not your loss. You're not even competing in the same race. Life doesn't have to make sense. God is gonna do a lot of things that we don't understand because he's God and he knows everything and we don't. Sometimes it's not gonna make sense, and then like years later it's gonna make sense, or maybe it won't. Maybe we won't know. But it doesn't have to always make sense. I'm somebody that I feel like never grew out of the 2-year-old phase of asking why. Doesn't mean to live without logic, but sometimes it doesn't have to make sense. Freaking nobody knows what they're doing, okay? Absolutely zero people have it figured out everywhere. Because we're people, we're always growing, we're always changing. Nobody has it figured out, or life would be so boring. Think about how boring it would be if you had every single thing figured out and you knew every single detail and how it was gonna play out for the next 30 years of your life. That'd be boring, okay? Nobody has it figured out and you're not supposed to. My husband and I, we were early married. We were living in our first apartment and I had gotten home from a job that I did not love. And the job did not love me. I talked about it a couple times to my husband. Reoccurring problems, okay? And he looked at me one day and he said, Kennedy, you either need to change your perspective or change your circumstances because you're at a standstill. And in that moment of being early married, I was kind of shocked because, excuse me, sir, what did you just say to me? He was right. But I heard a therapist say a long time ago, if you've talked about it more than 3 times, you need to move on. And you need to either change your circumstances or change your perspective. Pray more than you think you need to. I heard somebody explain it a long time ago. It's like a celebrity, right? You can know a lot about them, but do you know them? I don't know Justin Bieber. When I was 12, I sure knew a lot about Justin Bieber, but I never knew him. Would hate to get to heaven and God look at me and say, yeah, you know all about me, but you don't know me. I'm prioritizing praying more than I think I need to. Last one. This is one that I feel like finally caught up to me and I felt the weight of it literally yesterday. Because we talked about yesterday how I had a bunch of feels about turning 25 and it was a bit intense. It was a bit much, a bit overwhelming. It's a privilege to age. Not everyone makes it to 25. And I am so lucky to be 25. There are parts of it that feel really heavy. There are parts of it that feel like I'm getting old. There are wrinkles that are showing more than they used to. Parts of 25 that I'm like, wait, what is happening? I'm aging and it's a privilege and it is healthy and it is beautiful and not everyone gets that privilege. So please celebrate your aging no matter what age you are. And that concludes our little coffee hour, 25 things I learned by 25. If you're still here, thank you so much. If you haven't already, please subscribe, comment the most important thing you've learned, and we can create a little section in the comments of just the girlies helping each other out. Remember today to live in kindness, contentment, and peace as much as you possibly can. I love you so much and I will see you tomorrow.